Hello, my name is Joe Cool, the moderator here at No Limit Reef. I'd like to do a little YouTube video for you to go along with the cost-effective equipment. Today I'm talking about cost-effective return pumps. Many of you have seen these utility pumps. They're not super expensive. They can be costly, but they only last so long. The impellers inside tend to lock up or break over time, and this one I was using for a mixing pump. This is a 18. It just stopped working. Something internally went bad. These pumps seem to be cost effective in the beginning, but they tend to they cost you more in electric over the long run. They add extra heat to your tank, whether plumbed externally of the sump or internally, by adding heat to the water. Increases the amount of cooling you have to do to your tank if you live in a warmer climate. If you live in a colder climate, this might be a good thing, but they do tend to break, and being $100 and something, you know, by the time you replace a couple of them or buy parts for them, you could buy a premium pump. Now, what I have here, never mind the dirty appearance of all this under my sump here. You're probably accustomed to that with your own systems, possibly. What I have here is a reflow pump. It's a Super Dart Snapper combo, or hybrid gold. The gold series of these have a better motor and are a little more energy efficient, tend to last longer. I've had this one going on 3 years, running almost non-stop throughout the years, except for to take it apart to maintenance it. Now, Reflow is very good about sending you parts. The only issue I ever had with them is that they sent me a wrong impeller a few times. So this is a Super Dart. I believe this to be, yeah, that's another Super Dart. And then see, this is a Snapper. So you can see the difference with these hybrid pumps. You can change the impeller inside in order to change the output. I believe this lower one has 2,500 gallons per hour. I think I have the Super Dart, which is about 4,300 gallons per hour. The drawback to this is the price off the beginning. You're going to spend, I think I paid over $300 for this pump. As you can see, I had my hand on it. It's a little warm, but it's not bad at all. The noise you are currently hearing is really not this pump at all. It just so happens to be over here. I have a Jaybo DCT 1500, or 15,000, I'm sorry, running my skimmer, which I'm hoping to change out to maybe a smaller reflow. The only problem with reflow pumps is they only make them so small. This one's got a 2-inch input and a 1.5 out. I always recommend that you guys use a union with an anti-siphon, so that if the pump shuts off, your returns won't drain the water back into your sump. This is a very important feature to prevent your sump from overflowing. So, in the long term, cost effectiveness of this reflow pump, which costs $300 something, over a $150 18, which wasn't enough to power this pump, this whole system. I actually had to have 2 of them. So I'm already at $300. My amperage dropped from, what was this, about 6 amps down to 2 or something like that. I'll get the exact facts and post them on later, but this uses, it says 145 watts at 1.55 amps. But I tell you, my amperage dropped from a total usage of 7 to now I'm at 4 amps total, and I've added more stuff to the system since then. This has definitely lowered my power bill. The noise that these generate and replacing parts, I have not replaced any parts here yet. I did ask them to send me a new seal and impeller, which they did for free. Came within a couple of days. Just so I can, in case when I opened it up to maintenance it, in case I broke anything or anything was damaged, and they went ahead and sent me the appropriate parts. So it's a good company to use. A lot of people use Pan World and Iwaki pumps. The ones that I have heard are actually louder than this pump. They also have super head pressure pumps or high pressure pumps. So if you're going from, say, a basement up to a second floor or a third floor, you'll have that pressure. But I have had absolutely no issues with this pump whatsoever. I actually just recently added a third return into my pump, and my overflows are handling it fine. So I'm not running 4,300 gallons per hour through it, but I'd probably say with the restrictions, even though I have 2 feet of line before the return, probably running in the 3,500 gallons per hour range through my tank. So as far as efficiency, it's always best for the long term to buy a better pump for cost effectiveness. It'll save you money in the long term. It's going to save you buying parts. It's going to save you on the power bill. And then, as you know, you get what you pay for. And generally with reef equipment, you get what you pay for. So if this is what you got at the moment, use it, save up the money, you'll be happy you did. And even though the upfront cost is a little more, like you know with just buying reef equipment that it's going to save you a lot of money in the long term. You buy a cheap skimmer in the beginning, and then you upgrade later, and you're like, man, all the money that I wasted on that, now I had to spend more to get this. I should have just bought the right one in the first place. We all know it's not an inexpensive hobby. It can be inexpensive with a small tank, like a Nano, but when you get into these larger tanks, you definitely want to buy better equipment, and that's the best cost savings you can get when you're running a tank this size. So, Joe Cool out for No Limit Reef. Have a great day.